Hello everyone and welcome to Zest Zen with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that will take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. I am beyond excited today to share today's New Year special live discussion with you all. Every time we come together for these global conversations, the dialogue expands in ways I couldn't have even imagined. And I am so grateful for your presence here today, whether you are joining us live or watching the recording later. Thank you for showing up and for not only for yourself, but for this shared global discussion that I promise will expand your consciousness even further today as we prepare for another powerful year of growth and expansion in 2026. If you joined our previous discussions, you will already know how powerful and grounding they have been. And if you haven't, I would encourage you to go back and watch them as they contain so many transformational insights and hidden gems. But for now, today we're diving into another heart-centered discussion around probably the mindset, because it's a bit of a surprise today, but the mindset preparation, particularly for our new year, exploring the inner work that shapes resilience, conscious action, and authentic growth. So let's meet our extraordinary panelists. And if you've watched the previous episodes, you are going to be very familiar with them. We have the truly inspiring and thought-provoking Dr. Ewa, consciously bridging strategy, intuition and transformation. She is redefining what modern leadership looks like. With decades of executive experience, her wisdom helps us navigate uncertainty, lead authentically, and embody resilience in all aspects of our life. She is definitely one to listen to. And then we have the ever-empowering and influential leader, Amir Abdalla, who truly embodies and champions what courageous, heart-centered leadership looks like. Today, he will also share some profound insights from his mentor, the legendary Bob Proctor. I don't know what is going on with my speech again today. Anyway. a treat for anyone looking to elevate clarity, leadership, and impact. So I'm going to put my tongue and my teeth back in my mouth, and we are going to start this incredible panel discussion. And I already know it's going to bring so much presence, vision, and clarity into your new year. So let's do this. Welcome.
Thank you for having us here. What a wonderful thing. Happy New Year to everyone watching.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Shel. Happy New Year to everyone listening, and really appreciate your time listening to this. It's really an honor to us here to have you listening to this, and hopefully we can just bring some clarity, wisdom, and information that can benefit you for the new year 2026. And Happy New Year to everyone.
Absolutely. And I always think one of the big questions definitely to start with, because there's so much hype, I think, and I think it's a really great thing to do, but sometimes the hype around New Year's resolutions often gets all caught up into this doing, and I think sometimes we need to be being, and we need to be thinking about the feeling and the intention of not just a month or a couple of weeks or something that we're just picking up for now, but something that we really want to infuse into our year. So with that in mind, as we enter a new year, how do you, and any of you can answer, ensure that transformation is a sustainable part of your year, not just a New Year's resolution impulse?
Well, this is, I think, a great question. So let me just start from my perspective. For me, it's thinking about it, what it's really attainable. I think we all say we're gonna go to the gym, we're gonna do it, and then 2 weeks in, we are all done, right? Or we're gonna be eating better, and it's not gonna. And then again, a month later, we are back to the same food habits that we've had. So I think it's really thinking about it, what it is that we really want to improve and what is really needed for us. Some of us might want to improve, find a new job, and they're gonna start looking for a new job. Others wanna maybe spend more time with their families, and they're gonna focus on it. So I think we need to be mindful of what we want this theme for the year be open-minded, and then really think about it, not making big goals, because I think we all have big goals, well, yeah, and it's very difficult for them to then be attained. It's thinking about it, what it is that I can really do, and what is my plan. Nothing happens overnight. Everything takes time. So if you can create a habit of working little steps, it's then when you start seeing, it might not show up in the first month, it might not show up even in the 6th month, it might show up at the end of next year, when you're gonna find out, wow, I actually made a difference. Or someone actually might say, whatever you've been doing is working, you are this, or you have achieved this. And I think we need to allow and have that mindset that whatever we are trying to attain, whatever that might be, that is important to us in the given year, or we are setting ourselves for, make the realistic expectation and know that nothing happens overnight, but also be okay that some days you will just fall down, and it's okay. And then you can then bring yourself up the next morning and continue with your journey, because we all are only human. And I think we need to make sure that we bring that perspective in and don't judge ourselves for it. Choose it, step very slowly into this, and be really mindful of what we are doing, and don't punish ourselves if we fall down once or twice or multiple times throughout the journey. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to go next, Amir, or do you
No, go ahead. I'll go next.
I just had one little comment just on what Dr. Ewa said, and I feel like you're probably going to, because you two are so aligned anyway. But I immediately, like, because I always try to think like how the audience will think, like when they're listening to what you just expressed. And when you straight away said, like, thinking, you know, it's a new year, New Year's resolution or sustainable, and then you said it might happen at the end of the year, and I could straight away feel that, like, what? I'm not going to wait a whole year. You know, you can feel this, but that's the whole point of sustainability. And also what you really wisely said was, for those bigger goals, you know, you should be expecting to chip away at them throughout the whole year. You should be expecting to break them down, to make them sustainable and make them really come to life in a powerful, grounded and implemented way. Whereas, you know, like what you say, if you're doing something for, say, I don't know, getting fit for a holiday, and you're only doing it for a short period, then you're going to naturally probably only get short results. Whereas if you think long term, no, this is my body, my health, and how I want to show up now. This is how I want to be going forward. That's what makes it sustainable. So sorry, Amir, I know you've got lots to express, but I just felt like I could just hear, like, I get to know, I could just feel like, what? We're only just starting the year, you know? But that's sustainable.
Absolutely beautifully said. You know, I like what Dr. Ewa was talking about, you know, and you, as you know, we have, it's not happening overnight, you know, as you said it, you know, it takes time, it takes courage, and take persistent to reach, you know, our goals that we set for the new year. It's going to be a long journey, so we need to stay on the course. And I think that's asking about it. It's not like, you know, happen next month. We have to deeply believe this is going to happen, and we need to take the steps we're going to talk about here in this beautiful episode. I think it's going to be transformational from my point of view, because we're going to share a lot of things that help you to move forward. And it's not like just a list of a wish list you're going to just write down and then move forward. It's going to be transformational if you stay with us here. So to me, first, a decision. You know, you make your decision. This is what you're gonna do for this year, and this is my goal, and it should come from deep down. This is what I want, and this is a decision I'm gonna make. I'm gonna stay with it. I'm gonna be persistent with it. And I'm just sharing this from my mentor Bob Proctor. He said, success and persistence is going side by side, like chicken and egg. You know, success cannot be, you know, without persistence, and persistence cannot be achieved without, you know, success. So they are going together. So we have to just stay on the course. There's, you know, if we are really want to do something, we have to face all the challenges and the failures and everything, and stay on it, and it will be achieved. So this is just my perspective here.
I love what you mentioned, and I would just like to add to that and see if this is a similar way of thinking, because I just think the synchronicity of listening to what I listened to this morning, I would just love your takes on it. But I was listening to Oprah this morning, and she was expressing that she doesn't do vision boards anymore, because I was thinking, I really want to think clearly about my visions, and she said, because when you really know what you are aiming to achieve, it should be something that when you look at it, you don't feel like it's too far below you and it's too far above you, and you should look at it as if, like it's done, like okay, like, and not again something too easy, which is I think what you just said of the resistance and the fuel, I think, because we want something that, and I think this word often gets used in a negative way, but we want something that scares us a little bit, that we have to be courageous about, because otherwise we're not out of our comfort zones. So I really love that she mentioned that, because it made me think, if you're looking at something, so a woman said that she was doing an interview and she said, I always wanted to meet you. She wanted to meet her. And she said, wow, you didn't think that was too far out of your reach, because look what's happened. And sorry, I got so many shivers with that. And I just thought, because if you're looking at it and you're like, please, like, I really want this to happen, you are thinking that's so far from you. Whereas if you look at it and like, I'm excited for the day that happens, that's a very different feeling and thought towards it.
I think it is it's all about thinking about what it is that you truly want, right? And I'm with you. Vision boards, I think it is important to maybe map it out, what it is that we want. But I also want to say one thing. Very often we don't talk about being open to what the journey brings in, and having that North Star, it's really important, because that gives you direction where you ultimately want to be headed. But it's also believing, what is your belief, what is your motivation behind, and then thinking about it, what you're going to be accomplishing. And it might be as simple as, I want to meet someone who is famous, or this person is very, very inspirational to me, but it might be somewhat of a higher dimension, and then saying, that's what my North Star is, and I'm going towards that, and my journey might take me many ways. I think as I was listening to both of you, I often see people fail, and that goes back to myself as well. This is very human and very common. We all get very frustrated because we are not getting somewhere, not realizing that sometimes the journey, like everything, is ups and downs. Instead of going right, you be forced to take left. Sometimes you take left because there was no right to take, right? So, and you have to navigate it. And I think the one thing that I have, the older I get, the more I realize is there is no comment for what the success is. You get to redefine it the way you want it. It changes over time, right? Whatever we felt about 10 years ago is probably not what we are maybe wanting to accomplish, or we have already accomplished that. Now it's a new goal that we are creating, and it may be at different levels. But it's also, I think, the more you become more open to the journey and not having any preconceived notion of what that end is going to look like and when it's going to happen, I think that actually brings in many more opportunities. And actually, not only that the perseverance comes in, I think you're also becoming more resilient, and you also know that you're going to achieve it because of how you are enjoying the journey and how you're allowing yourself to do that. So I would really challenge everyone listening, if there's nothing you want to be doing, think about being open for once. Think about saying yes to opportunities that you would have never said otherwise, and be open to where they're going to take you, because that is, I think, that's what can shape and get you to your North Star, whatever that may be, whatever this is the next thing you want to have, but also allow you to enjoy the journey and realize that maybe you already have everything you want. It's just now, it's the next level of growth that is happening with us. Absolutely. Thank you.
I think you said a really powerful thing, and I just already know Amir is going to touch on this on another level, particularly with paradigm shifting, or I don't know if it's shifting or whatever the word is. But yes. I also, and I definitely as we probably all notice, when we set that powerful intention and we truly believe it and we are aiming for it, we will be going left to go right. Because naturally, when something inside of us is out of our comfort zone and we are not always mindset, whatever paradigm, I know he's going to talk more about this, it's naturally going to say, do you really want it? Are you really going to change your way of thinking? You're going to change your way of showing up, because you are going to have those same conversations come in, those same experiences to say, are you going to still be the same version and you're going to show up the same, or are you going to use your voice, or you're not going to tolerate this anymore, or are you going to still sit in those situations that, you know, are not always for your highest good? So I'd love Amir's take on this, but I know.
Absolutely, Shel. Nice. Yeah, I like what you both said here. You know, we need to just shift our perspective, our thinking. I think this is the first step as we move forward to the new year. Because if we don't change, you know, we'll be in the same. Result will be the same. So we have to move far from what we are to go to the next step. And you mentioned the paradigm, and I'm going to just talk about it a little bit, because I think it's the essence of the change is changing our paradigm. And paradigm is a multitude of habits that control the way we everything, you know, our behaviors, and most of our behaviors are habitual. So that's a paradigm. It's in the subconscious mind, and that's control us. And if we want to achieve anything, we have to tap into this paradigm, and we need to make the shift, so we can not just treat the symptoms, we can treat what we want. Because most of the time, and I used to do this, you know, I used to write like, okay, this is my list for the new year, you know, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, and then by February, March, everything is faded out, and it comes just one, and then by May, nothing happened. And that's all because of the paradigm, because the paradigm shifts us back to where we are, to stay in where we are. And this is like a program, and it's been for a long time. We've been programmed this way. Unless we tap to this paradigm and shift the way, you know, we've been programmed, nothing will be changed for remaining for the whole year or you know, our life. So we need to change it to become permanent. Otherwise, it'll become like temporary change, and then we fall back again to where we are. And this is what happened for most of us, you know, at least for me happening. You know, I want to start, like, I have a goal, and then I move forward, and then I fall back again. You know, I used to say, okay, I just want to read books, and start like, you know, one book, and then I fall back again. But you know, when I changed my paradigm and I shifted, and it become, I don't think about it anymore. It just come naturally. And this is what people do unconsciously. Like, you know, say if somebody wants to go to the gym, you know, now you see people like unconsciously go to the gym, right? They don't think about it. They just go, you know, get their, you know, thing, and it become like a routine. They don't think because they change the paradigm. You know, before you change the paradigm, you face a lot of challenges. Okay, oh no, you stay at home. You know, you watch this movie, you watch this, you do this. A lot of things come to you to prevent you to do what you want. But once you tap into, become like inside your subconscious mind, it become like you driving. You know, you don't think about when you drive. You just come like naturally. So this is what we want to do for our goals. Then it become natural, it become, you know, habit, and you don't have to force it.
So is that where the habitual thing comes in, of like,
absolutely,
naturally? Sorry, Dr. Ewa, because I know you want to speak, but I just want to check that I'm getting it clear. So for example, could it be something as subtle as, like, say, reading the book, just because you use that as an example of, oh, well, I'll watch an audio of the book, or you find different excuses, and so you're still doing it, but you're doing it in a way of, like, not quite doing it the way you promised yourself. So like, it still could look like, and I know, okay, that's a very loose one, but obviously, like, say again, like the gym, about physically saying I'm going to the gym, and then be like, oh, I'll just do something little at home, or and I know, like, we are still doing something, but thinking about the habits, I guess in those really crucial times of changing the habit, and obviously we're not saying if you're unwell, things like that, like if you generally know you're making an excuse, are you saying we need to really be sticking to the habit in order to change eventually the paradigm? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So like, for example, say I want to change this habit, or I want to achieve my goal, then your brain is gonna tell you like, okay, oh, you have this, you have to clean your, go take your car to, to wash your car, or do this, or prepare something. So it'll give you like excuse, to keep you the same. And this is the powerful of the brain. It wants you to stay the same, but it gives you a lot of things you don't realize. That's how you fight all this, and then you just, like we said, persistent. You have to just say, no, this is what I want. I'm gonna do it anyway. If you tell me, okay, do this, no, I'll stop everything, and then I force myself to go, and then you just repeat. After that, it'll become habit. You don't have to force it. You just naturally, you go, you find yourself in the gym without thinking.
And I think
please go. Yeah.
And I think that's the point. I think is, it's really knowing what you want to achieve, right? If you're really committed, because it all goes about commitment. There are certain things we are like, maybe if it happens, great. If it doesn't, not a big deal. But if we are really committed to something that we really want to achieve, let's use that book reading or going to the gym, it's in the points when you know that you're gonna fail. I think that's when the resilience and the perseverance come through. And I think that 5-second rule, that's Mel Robbins talk about, right? This is that count from 5 down and launch yourself and go from it. Because I think the more we allow for our brains to find an excuse, it moves us out. So for example, with the exercise, when it's snowing outside, when it's raining outside, when it's minus 20 degrees and you don't want to be out, think about that this is when you have to do this, right? And that's the hardest one. If you can force yourself in those times, you launch yourself saying, no, I'm doing that regardless. That's when you know that you are creating that habit, because I think that's when you are overcoming the hardest components. And let's be honest, we don't think about it very often. Even our own families are like, well, why are you doing this? Well, we would like you to sit down with us and now have a drink, or now, well, we're gonna be doing this. Well, why can't you join us? And I think you have to be very mindful that you know what your North Star is, right? What did you decide on doing? And again, someone during holidays said something to me, and they said, you don't owe anyone any explanations. If this is what you set yourself to do, you do it.
Yes.
And you go for it because it is important to you, right? And I would say one thing that I've been preaching, and I'm not as good about myself for this, but I think there is some psychologists who say you have a relationship with yourself. That's the only person you are accountable to, the only one, because you have to go to bed with yourself, wake up with yourself, and have the entire day. So I think we need to be mindful of this as well, that you're gonna get a lot of things happening to you at the same time.
Well, it's that left and right again, isn't it?
Exactly.
We make the decision and it's gonna come in. But we're all doing this. Come on, it's only one day. It's only this. And it doesn't always look like chaos. It doesn't always look,
No, it can be very nice, right? So,
especially in this period.
So anyway, that's my little thought here.
Absolutely, Dr. Ewa. And I hope I say this right, Amir, but it just happens that Bob's been popping up as well on my YouTube, and I've been watching him, and he said something, and when I first heard this, I was like, ouch, but it makes complete sense. And he said, do you know the difference between someone that sets a goal and wants to achieve it, between someone that doesn't? I hope I say this right. I didn't say it right. Okay, so he says the difference between someone that gives up just before the last hurdle and someone that continues is someone that really wants the goal. I've probably not said it right, but the way he said it was like, because he talks about, the example of the digging for the gold. and the people give up just before they get to the gold. And then there's the person that then buys the land and finds it. And he says, but that's the difference, because if they truly believed that the gold was there, they wouldn't have given up. They would have kept going. And he obviously says it, I wish I wrote it down, sorry. But it was like, and I remember the first time I ever read that, it really was like, I remember being like, which shows the change in the mindset. I was like, oh, this man's not, I don't like the way this man preaches or says things. Like, it's really not nice because of my mindset. It's nothing to do with him. Whereas now I listen to it and it fuels me and it inspires me. And I think we should always remember that a book we might read at one stage or one point in our life to how we reread it, we should always reread things. We get very different knowledge and understanding and wisdom from it at different stages as we develop and we expand our minds. So I'd love your take on that.
Yeah, beautifully. Yeah, I love this is powerful. Like, both of you, Dr. Ewa was talking about, the powerful of, what we want really. This is I think this is a core of everything. This, if you really want it, this is where you start. If you have like, this maybe not, it'll be difficult to achieve. But if you really want it, you're gonna face everything. Anything comes to you, you will face it, because this is what you want and what you want to achieve. So you start with that first. I think, to me, if you start with that, you have the foundation to achieve your goal. Very 99% you will achieve it. If this is really what you want. So first you need to sit in a quiet place and think about this is really I want for my life to be this way. So when you said that, then everything will fall on that. I think this is the first step. Dr. Ewa mentioned this beautifully. And you, Shel, you're talking about the awareness, as we grow, awareness change, right? Like you said, we read something and then next month we read it, we look at different, because our awareness is changed. There's a level of awareness, and that's how we grow. And to me, Shel and Dr. Ewa, the goals is not about like, okay, I want to achieve these things, I want to get more money, I want to get this, I want to get this. To me, this is like a result of the goals, but the goals is to grow. That's why we have the goals, to grow. If you're not growing, you don't have a goal. You just find something. But once you grow, this is why we set our goals. So as you grow, like you mentioned, I think Dr. was talking about, you enjoy the journey as you grow, not just achieve the end result, because you go from here, and this is like a journey. You have a lot of obstacles, and then you have like problems you face, failures. You grow, and you see yourself are growing all the time until you achieve your goal. And there is like 3 types of goal. I can talk about it later, but from my perspective, 3 types of goal that's we can set, and once we grow, that means we achieve our goal.
And I really like what you just said, and I want to add one thing. Since we are talking about awareness, where we are headed and where we've been, we have to honor the person we have been as well, right? And aspire to be the person we are setting up ourselves to be, and be good with and be okay with everywhere else we're gonna be, where we're gonna land during the journey. Because I think it's because we are growing, that doesn't mean that where we have come or where we are currently, it's not a bad place. It's actually a place where, if we are deciding to change, that means that we are honoring where we've been, but we also want to have more. And that more can be defined, like Amir said, in many different ways, what that means. For some people, let's be honest, when you are younger, you probably are more inclined for more materialistic things, right? When you get first to the job, maybe you are thinking about other things. The older you get, you start becoming a little bit more spiritually driven, and to redefine the success a little bit differently. And I do want to mentioned that there is no right or wrong place to be. I think it's just we evolved, and we often are gonna be feeling a little bit of risk. We're gonna be worried about where we are taking and so forth. But in one of the discussions, one of the networks that I'm in, someone said that when you are a child, you are not worried about those risks, right? You're not worried about where you're headed. I mean, think about those infants who all of a sudden start walking. How many times did they have to fall down? And they don't worry about that they fell down hundreds of times. They are standing and they are now walking, right? So it's that evolution that I think we owe ourselves to also think about it. It is okay. I mean, we all know we're gonna have days where the only thing we wanna do is maybe have a drink or maybe have a smoke or whatever people do that to help them cope in the given moment. Others might have a go to church. Others might be reading a book. I think that is okay, but it's more about how do we move forward the next day? How do we wake up and say, this is what happened, I'm learning from it, I had a moment of whatever, and I'm moving. And again, saying to yourself, you weren't a bad person, because I don't want anyone to think about it that by setting new goals that there's something wrong with you the way you were before. No, it's just a normal part of life. We want more, and the more is defined differently each year as we go to different stages of our career, of our family relationships, or as we age, or as this world changes, right? I mean, we are all in a very different place. And I think it's okay to say, maybe this year I'm not gonna move anywhere, but even that to me is a very conscious decision that someone is going to be making and saying, this year I'm making a pause. And I do want to acknowledge that maybe some of us might need to stay where we are, and so we can learn who we are and then figure out where else we want to be going as well. So I touched on a little different points, but my primary point is that we have to honor and be okay. First, we have to honor and be okay with the current version or the past version of ourselves, and don't discount it, because there's lessons in those as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think often as well, the paths that we take and the things that particularly the, say, services or the things we really want to change in the world, what I hear more and more the more I listen to very influential leaders, is if they didn't have that path, that route, they wouldn't be the person that they probably are today, because of, as we think of a diamond, the pressure. And it's not saying that everyone always has to have this dramatic or life-altering thing happen to them, but often the things if we're really doing it from a place of our heart and our real intention, it's often something that we experience that's not always, may have felt quite painful to us, or something that we never wanted someone else to experience, and that's what drives us, and it kind of is no, this stops with me and I want to change this. So we should look back at that, that beautiful version of us and be proud of them, because they were that strong, courageous driving force that, brought us into the now of who we are now and what we're passionate about and what we want to, really infuse into the world. So absolutely, I think, we should definitely reframe that and really celebrate that person, that version. It's still us, but you know what I mean, the different versions of us that we're all constantly evolving. Even probably a year from today, we are not going to be the same, and that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is exactly, I hear a lot of successful people talking about this, and most of them or all of them are saying the same as you just mentioned here, both of you. We have to just embrace this is who we are before, without all these failures, without all these up and downs. We cannot be ourselves right now. So we need to thank our old version, because it took us from where we were before to where we are at now, and that's for me. I'm not regret any failure I had, because it shaped who I am right now. If somebody asks me do you have anything remove from your life, even if failure or bad things happened to me or bad decision I made, I'd say no. because all this shape who I am right now, and without all this, I cannot be who I am right now. So we need to look at that from that perspective. Any failure, anything that's make us more stronger, and this is the way of life. You just prepare us for the next step. As we go moving to our goals, any failure just make you stronger and to move forward. If we look at it that way, as a feedback, it's not like I'm failing here. I just want to mention one thing I love. This is kind of an analogy, kind of I hear from somebody. I want to share here, as far as like going up and down from our progress to our goal. As we see this, we go to the hospital and we see the heartbeat monitor. That monitors go up and down, right? That means the person is alive. And if the monitors go flat, that means person is not alive. So life is like this heartbeat monitors, up and down, up and that means we are alive. We are not staying in the comfort zone. We are moving up and down. That's you embrace that and you move forward. And this is a part of the journey, like you mentioned.
Absolutely.
I really love that, because I think that, to your point, we often don't think about it, that the experiences, that's what makes us human, right? And without those feelings, I mean, some of us are more feeling than others, meaning they experience more, they're much more sensitive to certain things. And I think we have to realize that we all process differently, we all think differently, our perspectives and our perceptions are very different, right? And I think honoring that and learning from this and continuously saying, oh, I just learned something new, it's very important. The other piece that, as you were talking, it was bringing me in, I think recently we as a society stopped talking about having honest discussions or having debates or having powerful talks with each other and not taking things personally, right? I mean, we know that every family is gonna have some kind of scuffle, right? People are gonna argue, people are not gonna see eye to eye, people are gonna take things personally. And I think it's, even if you're thinking about the growth of being open to hear other people without, which is very difficult, putting any judgment, but really hearing them. Hearing where they are coming from. It can be a very powerful transformation, because again, as we are talking about, you can achieve your goals, but you can only do it when you are continuously moving forward, but also when you're open enough for the potential shift of direction that's going to happen on the way to that goal. Because I think that sometimes is a really important thing for us to think about. And I think with social media, and digitalization, which is allowing us to have this discussion, and we are across the globe here, allows us to have this. But it also diminishes some of those difficult discussions, or I don't want to say difficult, human discussions that we all need to have, because they are not difficult. That's point of
safety, isn't it? There's safety in the screen, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I think allowing for others to present the feelings. There is nothing wrong with someone crying if they feel very strongly about it. Someone being so excited about something, right? Or being simply sad, or having no opinion whatsoever. That's a feeling in itself as well. And I think if we allow it to digest it ourselves and allowing others to see you or us taking in others the way they are, it actually enhances the way we are transforming ourselves, but also how we are experiencing life and deciding what the next goal will be, or how do I go about it in order to get it. So I just want to also bring that component in, it's that openness and having those discussions that normally we would consider difficult as a way for also growing ourselves and moving ourselves forward as well.
Absolutely. I hear you. I'm sure you've all experienced this, but there's been many times where, you receive feedback or you receive something that's kind of like, oh, and then, in that moment you want to be reactive, you want to be, prove your truth or something. And then usually when you take some time and you reflect on it, there's always a gem. There's always like, okay, well, that shows me a lot about their perspective and how they're seeing me. Or, okay, I can understand why they said that. Okay, well, what really was the underlining emotion? Because I took it as straight away as, attacking, or, not saying the way I would say it. But actually, what I've come to realize is whether you are in the room or you're not in the room, people are still going to say their version the way they're going to say it. And you're not going to be there. And especially when you become more and more in the public eye. Like, I was thinking about some of these people, and if they literally took every single article, every single thing said about them, every comment, because they're going to have even more polarity, they would be exhausted. They would be fighting constantly. Whereas if you really want to find that stillness and that peace, and actually sometimes when we set these big goals or these big ambitions, why are we proving them to someone? Showing your results, show them the results. Whereas I don't know, I just had these and I think, and it's not always these times of loved ones, but often, because they care and they're not always on the same path as you, they express themselves in different ways, which sometimes seems like they don't understand you, but it's not. It's their perspective. They're often masked in their worry about you and wanting the best for you, and just only knowing a certain way sometimes,
or just not understand where you're coming from, right? It is, and it's again, you don't owe anyone any explanation. That's I just want to mention that we present ourselves the way we want to. I mean, many of the coaches that are talking, doing reels and having the podcast, they're saying you don't owe anyone any explanation. That's one. But two, very often when you advertise too much, it also sets an expectation, right? Sometimes, I love what you said, that the results speak very often more volume because you have already achieved. I think we are the three of us are here on podcasts. Marie, Shel Marie, you have your own podcast. I've started up. If we all listen to what others said, versus thinking, I want to have a platform to allow others to speak and present my thoughts, we wouldn't be doing this, right? I mean, you always have to think, people are going to have opinion on anything and everything you are doing. It's recognizing that not everyone is going to agree with you. Quite frankly, 90% of people will not agree with you because that's not something that they can comprehend, or they are not sitting in your shoes, right? So I think not taking it as personally and accepting that the only person, again, accountable, I am only accountable to myself. If I can sleep well at night and I know that I've done the right thing, that's all that matters, because ultimately we all have to carry with. And I want to mention, we are talking here not about bad things, we're talking about good things here, right? There is so I want to mention that, but the first and the last person every morning and at night is ourselves and the person looking at you from the mirror. So it's everyone can have an opinion, but as long as this is what you want to achieve and you're going for it and you are okay with that, then I think that's all it matters at the end. And everyone else, we can listen to them, but we don't have to take that into our account if this is not advancing us forward. That would be my personal thought on this.
Yeah, this is powerful. I love what you just said, Dr. Ewa. Like 90% of people that are not agree with us sometimes, and we should just go with what we want, because this is our life, and nobody else, care more than ourselves about our life. So we need to just take this in consideration. And I just want to say something here is, this is I experience, and I want to ask you also if you experience this. When you set a goal, right, and you want to do something, most of the time, people who are around you, because you are in a culture of like people around you in the same culture, right? Relatives, friends, those people, most of the time they pull you back. Why they pull you back? Because you are in a culture, it's same culture, or we call it same vibration. And once you set a new goal or you want to move somewhere else, they want to protect you, but in essence they pull you back, to stay in this culture. And then you have to realize that, you know, okay, I'm not that person. I'm totally different. Now I have to just move forward. I'm not going back. Yeah. And people sometimes they don't understand, oh, this person is close to me. Why is doing that? Why they want to kill my dream, or they kill my goal. The reason is because you are in the same vibration and you want to pull out of that. You want just like in a circle, and you want to move out of that circle. They want to keep you the same. So you have to realize that and just move forward. This is what you want. This is your goal. This is exactly what you want to achieve. Don't worry about anybody else, any opinion. This is yours, and move forward. I just wanted to mention that. I think this is something I experienced.
Would you say, also going back to the paradigm, because naturally you're going to be in a certain paradigm and habits and thinking and mindset?
Absolutely.
Because not to go into it, but I've spoke about it previously, of like, my mind for years and years used to be very different to now, from doing a lot of inner work. But because, and I'm not saying, but because I was around a certain, anyone I was getting the advice from or having the conversations with, their mind was in the same way of functioning. So I just assumed everybody thought the same as me. Everyone just did the same. You know, it's like what you're saying, the paradigm of, and it's nothing to them or anyone. It's just when you as we say, when you only know what you know. So when you start investigating,
Absolutely.
you start, reading or expanding your mind, it doesn't mean all of a sudden it's going to be like, oh, there's going to be someone that knows exactly what you're talking about, and they're going to pop up, and then you'll have these conversations. I feel you're going to be in that, am I right in thinking this, or is this now just something that like I'm trying towards, but it's not something achievable? Like, there's going to be that resistance, that test, because you're still naturally usually in an environment or a mindset or a way of functioning. And like what you say is, if you think in circles, you're kind of almost like exploring a new circle, but you haven't quite entered that circle yet. So you're just spinning, wondering, am I actually right in even thinking this? Is this even achievable? And I think you just have to really know and really hold the vision. If that person that you heard is showing that way of living in their life, they are showing you they achieved it. So hold the vision, keep going, and okay, you'll have those resistance or whatever come. That's a part of the plan. That's a part of life. Because like what you say, the up and the down, if it was like, oh, I watched this amazing person and now I can be that, and ding, then where would the resistance be? Where would the shifting be? So see it as like, I just think just have a different perspective on it.
And I 1000%.
And
I just want to say 1000%. You said. Go ahead.
And for me, what I usually think about is also not only that we are coming from different cultural backgrounds, which I think it helps us, right? We have a different perspective that it brings in. It makes us authentic. I will never get out of my accent is my accent. Doesn't matter what I do, it's gonna stay with me. However, I think it's also not only that you have become very brave and courageous by exploring outside from what you know, but also others might see you, and you never know who's watching you, right? And I mean it not in a bad way. No. It's watching you, meaning they also are thinking to do this, but they haven't seen anyone else do this, meaning break out of the environment and whether it's positive, negative, whatever that might be, and expanding upon. And I think that especially important is, if you're thinking about this, for minorities, for women, where we get to not only fulfill our own dreams and move forward with things that are important to us, but also potentially set an example that is okay. That it's okay to do certain things, and it's okay to long for, is that all to life, or is it more? I mean, let's be honest, we all have here probably 60, 70, 80, some people 100 years to live here. You can't be in the same mindset as you were when you were 20 years old, because it changes, right? That's because you grew up in a certain environment, doesn't mean that fulfills you in many different ways. I think we all have certain way of fulfillment, and that we want to. And if you ask a lot of people what they are, there is a big movement for people who are career individuals. You start hearing from, oh, I want to be a CEO. Now it's more being multi-hyphenated, or I think that someone call it polygamous, in a way that it's you have multiple streams of things that you are doing, and that creates your career in a way. If you think about it, 5 years ago, this was not possible, right? People were not talking about it. Now, how many women, especially women, are benefiting from this? The multi-hyphenated career, meaning you maybe do podcasts and you monetize it. Maybe you write a book and you monetize it. Now maybe you're a speaker. Maybe you have a some kind of rental company or something like that, property management. You start seeing people living their truths in a way that is multi-diverse, in a way they are, versus I only have this path and I have to be the CEO of this company only within this. And that is, for those who started doing this, it was a breaking in. Now it has become a mainstream. So what it tells us is we all have the freedom of navigating. Doesn't mean that's going to be easy. However, it's also people watching behind us who are watching us and saying, okay, they are doing this, I want to do the same thing, or they give me an idea about something. And also remembering that we can be an inspiration by moving outside of the box, the proverbial box, or our circle, however we want to be saying. We might inspire more people than we think. It might inspire people to take action where they would have otherwise haven't taken it because of our experience. And I think beyond us talking about the goals, it's also thinking about it, the ripple effect of our actions and our perseverance and being resilient in a place of difficulty and potentially failure.
I think that's so powerful. And just think, the first person, say, let's just really break it down in like simple terms, on LinkedIn, that didn't just put CEO and put slash. Someone probably thought, who do they think they are? You know? But this is how change happens, because sometimes, and that's why, like, often I think the word courageous always comes up as something like fighting and this. It's not. It's actually just having that, like, even doing something as small as like what you just expressed, but look at the huge ripple effect, because that helped. It was a minor thing of someone saying, no, I'm not just that, I'm more than that, and saying, no, I'm gonna represent myself like this. There's space for me to do it, because there was a time when you could only select a drop-down list. Whereas they had the option, they went for it, and they probably had all that resistance, they had those comments, they had everything, but they truly believed in what they wanted to do. And then someone inspired after a while, because usually people wait, see what unfolds, because that's usually what happens, and they said, actually, you know what, no, I want to do that as well. Oh, I like the way they did that font. Oh, I like the way they add that. And I agree, it seems like such small things. And I think it goes back to that thing you said at the start, Dr. Ewa, of the goal. It could be so minor, but you don't know who's watching and what huge effect that could have long term. So don't see things as a silly little thing that you're doing. There's a thought and a feeling within you, act on it, and you never know who you're inspiring, what mindsets you're changing, or what big effect it could have. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for so much. I think this is very powerful, what you just mentioned here. And the way I look at it here is, we have a gift. Everybody has a gift from God. You know, this is gift. The way I see it is our responsibility to show it to other people, to help other people with our gift. That way, you know, you don't see it like a small thing, like you just mentioned. This is a big thing. It can help somebody, and there's a ripple effect. You know, anything you have, some people they don't have. So you have to embrace it. You have to develop it. You have to make it, you know, out. You have to just bring it up outside, so people can see it, can benefit from it. And this is very powerful, and it's not a small thing. Anybody on this earth, I believe, they have deep reservoirs of potential. This potential can be helped. You can help anybody. You just need to think about what you have, what gift you have, develop it, bring it up, show it to people, be present, and it's gonna help you and help other people. And I just want to mention here, just come to me here while I'm talking about this, is the law of cause and effect. Any cause, there is an opposite reaction to it. If you just start helping people they'll start helping you. This is a law. This is a universal law. Just think of helping people. Once you help people, they help you. If anything you want, just do it, then you get it back. This is a law, like the law of gravity. If you think about it, and this is the way I lately I was not aware of it a few years back, but once I was aware of it, I started work on it. I started trying to understand it more and more, and it's very, very beautiful to understand all this. It's amazing, and I started helping people, and people start helping me back. And you can see it, all of you do all this in your life. You're helping by this podcast, Dr. Ewa, by just in your job and all this, and you see the effect back to you. And I experienced this firsthand when I started doing this. So please go ahead.
I'm actually very much with you. I think it is very much liberating. First of all, it's very much liberating that we work on ourselves, right? It's very easy to say how everyone else is bad and they need to change and so forth. No, people will change when they feel it's appropriate for them. The only thing we have in our control is changing ourselves, right? To the people that we want to be. But to your point, what you said, Amir, which I think for those of you listening is very powerful. If we start presenting the version of ourselves that is authentic to us and we want to be presenting to this world, we attract the group of individuals that are thinking alike, that all of a sudden the universe starts giving you back because you are presenting who you want to be presented, who you want to be for others to see. If you're highly charitable, you start seeing others inviting you to maybe please come, can you please join our board? If you are very good in doing certain things, you're an extremely good salesperson, all of a sudden companies bring you in because they know that you can create relationships. If you are, and I want to mention for those who are manual labor, meaning they are a very good machinists or plumbers, electricians, if you embrace the talent that you have, because as Amir said, everyone has talent that we all need to share with the world, it starts coming back to you, and own it. There is no shame in having any types of talents because we all are very different, and my talents are very different than you both have, but there is some things that are in common, and I think that starts gravitating and creating that great energy that it brings back. So this is, I think, very important that we get to shape the energy we want to bring. That's the vibration component, Amir, that you are mentioning, and then present it and get the vibration back, or get the circle that vibrates at a similar pattern that we are presenting. And again, it may change, right? Every year might be a slightly different vibration, but that's the part of life that we keep expanding our circle of influence, right? And friends and so forth, and vibrating in a way that gives us other gifts that we get to experience and enjoy as we move towards through our life, through the many years that God has given us on this earth.
Absolutely. And I think you touched on something really powerful there, because there's often something that pulls people together. So there's a shared interest here. But if we didn't all have our own personal experiences, our own perspectives, this would be a very boring conversation. Because we would only be able to think at the same capacity of each other, and we'd be just like, yeah, I think the same. And then we wouldn't be able to add that different perspective, that different lived experience. So yes, we have alignment, but also we have different ways that our lives have been formed, and different paths, and different interests, and like what you say, like it all comes in like almost like making the perfect ingredient or the recipe. Because we start with something that we want to achieve, and then we all add in, and then we don't know what the finished project will be like, even though we have our intention, and that's the beauty of it, I think. So like what you say, it's almost like we're all puzzle pieces, because if everybody wanted to be a podcast host, if everybody wanted to be on a stage, we need plumbers, we need builders, we need all different types of people. And again, not in one box, which you so powerfully talked about. Just because someone is a plumber, that doesn't mean they're nothing else. They could be an incredible motivational speaker, and really think outside the box of, okay, this is what I might be doing now, but actually, what am I interested in? What would I like to pursue? Because it's never too late. It's never too late to really go for what you want all the time. And I think, talking about the year and setting these intentions, go for it. Really push yourself. Maybe pick something that, you maybe thought, oh, I'd love to have done that when I was younger. No, age again is an illusion. Do it now. Do it. So thank you.
Absolutely. Age, I would say age, gender, background, all these illusions, you have potential, just show it to the world. And I'm just going to share here my experience in LinkedIn. You lived it with me, Shel Marie. I started in last April. I was a little bit shy away of just presenting myself out, and I have all this doubt, like, who am I? I'm going to talk about leadership. Who am I? I'm this. Who am I? But I said, okay, this may be a gift I had. God gave it to me. I just need to. This is my responsibility to share. And once I started sharing, like you just said, Dr. Ewa, it's everything aligned. People come to me. First I got connected with Shel here, and now everything after that, everything is just open. People come. I got more connection, and now with Dr. Ewa, a lot of people come to me because I took that decision and I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I presented myself out, and that's the powerful of that. You just need to just remove all this illusion, remove all this doubt, and say, okay, this is me, this is what I have, and there is many people who will benefit from it, and go for it.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I would add one thing, you both touched on it. There's no time frame, there's no age, there's nothing defines us. And I would say another piece is if you want to do something, just do it, because there will never be perfect, right? There is as they say, as they do it in the marketing or product development, the MVP, the minimum viable product, and you go for it, because you will never be perfect, especially in this era with technology moving as fast as it's moving. You got to go for this and pivot as you go. The journey is, nothing is perfect, and you gotta do this, and just pivot along the way. The second thing, Amir, you touched on. I've had the same thing. I wasn't the most outgoing on social media. It's because I was afraid how others are going to be seeing me, because I have a professional career that I have to also manage, right? So it's when the moment you are everywhere, people Google you and stuff comes up. And let's be honest, not every podcast discussion is the best that I've ever done, but we also know that, let's say, politicians don't ever have the perfect interview. No one has ever anything perfect. And the one thing that I learned is that people actually admire you more because you put yourself out there. And yes, maybe some of the posts only get one like. Okay, so you learn from it. Maybe others will get hundreds of likes, and that's great as well. But I think we all are afraid of putting ourselves the way we are, not realizing that we are just fine the way we are. And most people, by us putting ourselves, will not shame us, will not laugh at us. If anything, they're gonna say, wow, I admire this person because they are okay the way they are, and they are not worried about. And I mean, how all of these people who became famous on social media became famous, it wasn't because they put one poster. They put hundreds and thousands of posts, and it only takes one post to make you viral, right? And all of a sudden everyone knows you. So I think it goes back to, if you stay persistent in what you are doing, regardless of social media or anything else, as long as you stay persistent and you dig at it, continuously work on it every single day and make small changes, small improvements towards the goal, it's all gonna happen. It's just a matter of time. I read a quote somewhere that it only takes that one more time for you to be successful, whatever you are defining or reaching the goal. And I think, and we discussed it earlier, 99% of people end up right in front of the finish line, not realizing that one more push would have gotten them there. So I challenge you all, don't give up. If you truly believe in something, keep going, because you never know when that one more push, it's gonna put you exactly where you want it to be.
We always do this so unintentionally, by the way. What a 360, going back to the digging for the gold. If you really want it, you wouldn't, like, for me, I don't even see what I'm doing as a timeline. I just see it's something I'm passionate about and that I just do. You know, it's something that's just me, whether someone might say it's a hobby, whether someone says it's a passion, whatever anyone's perspective of it is, it's all down to me and it's all down to us. And it's like, I choose to show up because I want to. And so I think if you're doing it with, like, what you almost say of, like, oh gosh, right, I'm going to do 3 more. And if there's still no progress, then why are you doing it? Because we need to really reflect on that, because if we're really digging for that gold, that impact, that service, whatever we believe we are doing, our true intention behind it, is it to be viral? Is it to be, you know, known more? Or is it truly because something you believe you're doing is making a big impact? Whether, like what you say, 1 like, 10 likes, 10 million likes. If you really, really are in it for the long term, it doesn't matter, because time, as we know, I know it always sounds really weird, but it is a bit of an illusion, because things like this particularly, you know, how many, not saying that that's what's going to happen, but how many artists, how many famous people often don't even know the impact of what they created? Of course we want to do it in this lifetime, but again, they have no idea of the magnitude of like believing in their vision at that point, writing that book, whatever it is they felt inspired to do was going to create a ripple, an impact in generations to come. And that's why you should do it. You should do it because you believe in what you're doing and against what other people's opinions are of it.
Absolutely. I love this conversation. I just want to add example to what you just mentioned, the ripple effect. You know, think about the Wright brothers when they invented the airplane. You know, see generation now we benefit of, you know, because they believe on this vision and they thought, okay, they're gonna do it, and nobody in the earth like believed them, said they are crazy. And then when they invented this, you know, the bicycle, and then they flew. And now it become like, you know, we benefit from, you know, flying. Otherwise, how we're gonna fly, you know, to other countries? And you know, it's unbelievable. So, but they had the vision, like exactly what you said. You know, you don't know what's gonna be helping generation after generation. Just hold your vision and move forward. I just want to circle back a little bit about, like, if you allow me here to just maybe for the listeners, like, okay, what we need to do as to set up our goals, you know, as practical, what the practical way to start this new year of, like, okay, now I know all this, how I'm gonna do it, or what's the first step I need to make my goals, you know, achievable, or set the goals. To me, first, we mentioned this, but I just want to make it like in a stepwise. We said it at the beginning, and Dr. Ewa and you, Shel, you mentioned it many times. You need to see what you want first. Is this something really you want, really? So you have to sit down and say, okay, this is really I want, because this is shape everything. If you're not sure, you think again, until you come up, this is what I want, because this is you're gonna face a lot of things, obstacles, people pull you back, your paradigm, everything. You're gonna fight a lot of things. If you really want it, that will give you the power to face all this. So first, this is the first step to me. I want to see what's your intake, Dr. Ewa and Shel, about this, but this is the first step. And then second, you have to just see, okay, this is what I want. Then you need to use your imagination. I think this is what I learned. You set up your goal, and then you have to use imagination. We don't imagine. Since we're kids, nobody tells us like imagine things. We think imagination is only for kids, and once we grow up, they tell us like, oh, this is you cannot imagine. This is a fancy fantasy, because you have to use your logic. And here I think we have permission to be unlogic, because this is your goal. You have, like we just mentioned, the Wright brothers. Yeah. That when they thought about this was unlogic. They just believe on it. So we need to imagine this, and we need to see we are the person who's going to achieve this. This is the third step, and then move forward with persistence. This kind of 3 steps quickly, but I just want to mention that I want to see your intake on that, so people can start right away and using that for their goals.
Yeah, I think this is very beautifully said. I like that 3 steps, and I would say it's you do have to believe in or really believe in what you're trying to achieve, because I think that belief moves us forward. So understanding where you want to be headed and really creating your North Star. The one thing that I would add is also your why, creating the why you are trying to do that, because I think the why, when it gets very difficult, that's what allows us to step back and say, I am doing this because, and the why might be as simple as I'm doing that because I want to help my family, I want to earn, because we are in a situation we are in. It can be as I want to change the world in a way, let's say women are viewed in certain areas, right? So, and I think that reminder powers us in the very difficult pieces. The other piece I would say is, I think just adding, like we were discussing, it's the perseverance comes in also not only from understanding the why, but also being open to what's happening along the journey, because you have to be okay and be empathetic to yourself. So as you set your goal, you know your why, you are going at it. Be also kind to yourself on the journey you are in, and be empathetic to what you're feeling, because if you're empathetic to yourself, you're going to be empathetic to everyone else, and the journey is going to become a little bit easier as well. So I would just add that it's also that the way you allow your mind to take you through the journey is very important, and what can help you sustain. And it sounds a little bit ambiguous, but it's our mind that needs to be freed in some shape or form, and we need to remember, maybe put in what is our why, and read that why every single day. I am doing this because, and then reminding ourselves why you're doing that, and that I think helps us remember. And the point when you're so low that you cannot wake up because you're so tired and you're beat up from failing continuously, I think that why can push you in and saying, okay, I'm gonna do it one more time, and then that one more time allows you to achieve it. But beautifully said, Amir. I think this is very important for people to know, because very often they struggled to figure out, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna break it down? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Just to add to that, I love that, Dr. Ewa. I think that's really powerful, and I think thinking back about that one more time as well, sometimes actually we just need to see it from a different angle and a different approach as well, and be more creative, going back to the imagination. And sometimes it's purposely that way, feeling like that, because sometimes there is an easier way, or there's another option, so I think just having that time to gather your thoughts, have that quiet, get rid of that external noise, and really, like what you say, reconnect and say, okay, right, I'm pushing, maybe there's another way, and give yourself that time. But the other thing that I really love that you mentioned, Amir, was when you said about the imagination, what straight away came to my mind is those really future forward thinkers. So for instance, thinking about those brothers, they didn't have someone to see. They didn't have a blueprint. They didn't have the idea of what that would look like. They had to use their imagination and believe that they could achieve something that wasn't even created. So I think often when we're on these paths, and it's beautiful to have someone who's walked that way, and get a mentor, really connect with these people, really watch them, infuse yourself into the way they perform their lifestyle. But for those people that are getting these downloads, if you call these, the ideas, these insights that are not even here yet, you really, really, really need to connect to that imagination. Like that child, a child doesn't go, children do things like, I was watching something, and I know it sounds so silly, but these examples really show the mind of a child. Of there was a bike, and the child was trying to put the chicken on the bike to pull the bike, and obviously the chicken's not going to stay on the bike. The chicken's like, what are you doing? But the child was like, no, get back on the bike, get back on the bike. And there was no one to say to that child, no, the chicken won't stay on the bike. And guess what happened? The chicken gave up, and the chicken sat on the bike, and the child pulled it along. But you see, because no one diminished their vision, no one told that child, no, that can't be done, and this will come in. And so when you have that vision, like thinking of it in a more, a more out there way, and someone hasn't even thought of it yet, you are going to have that, it won't be able to be done. You cannot do it. So this is why I think sometimes when you have those visions, you really need to see them like birthing something, and keep them so sacred and so you know what I'm trying to say, like you would a baby before you reveal it. It's something that people are not going to understand, they're not going to get, but you have to really believe in it, because you had that vision for a reason, and go for it. However long it takes. Absolutely. Just hold it and use that imagination. Be playful, be curious, be excited.
Absolutely. I want to say what Napoleon Hill said about imagination. He said, imagination is the most miraculous, unconceivable, powerful force that's the world never seen.
Yeah.
So we have to use our imagination, because we shut it down when we were kids. And to me, when I learned this, I don't know, this is just a passion I have. I want to teach all kids to start imagining in schools, start this imagination again. Because I see this now, even with my kids, when they start imagining things, we shut them down. Like, okay, you say, be logic. Don't, this is, you're far away, or you're not concentrating. It's not about concentration. They're imagining things, and this is like a muscle. It's called mental muscles. We have to just use all the time to inside in the brain. We have to just use it to make it stronger. But we are not using it much. So it's very, very powerful, mind muscle that we need to use to achieve our goals.
It's all about balance, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I would say is, especially in the time of AI, our imagination is our creativity, right? So this is where the creativity is happening. And as we are going into AI will replace a lot of tasks we are doing, because they're going to be manual. So the blueprint of how you're going to be an engineer, how you're going to be a doctor, or how you're going to be whatever you might be, it's going to be changing. But what cannot be replaced is really that creativity. And I am so happy to see that what do we call it, imagination, creativity, however we want to call it, that true arts like music and arts and just creative thinking is coming back to play, because that's where innovation happens, right? I mean, Edison with a light bulb, the same thing, that anyone has done it. And if you think about it, the people who have done this, they were outside thinkers, and they were thinking about connecting the dots in a very different way. And the more we teach our youngsters to think about be okay. You have your imaginary friend, go for it, because that creates that relationship, that thinking about it that we usually don't have. How did all of these movies, like, I don't know how many you've seen the new Avatar. If you talk to the director, he says that the technology, when he was creating the first one, actually pretty much every single one of them, the technology never existed. He had to wait for the technology to catch up with what was sitting in his head. So it's a lot of brilliant people, a lot of people who are making a big difference. They are using imagination. They are thinking about something that it's not conceived, that it seems not conceivable at the given time, but yet it becomes the reality. And it now, with AI especially, becomes a lot of the imagination, the creativity sitting in us actually can be probably brought to the front much faster now. But it requires our imagination, because I do worry in the world where we are going to be replaced, if we only follow the same mold, it's not gonna be a good world, right? We have to expand it, and it goes back to using the imagination, setting the key whys of why am I doing something, and being okay, dreaming. And being authentic to yourself. We all are weird in many different aspects, and I think that's what makes us stand out, right? That's what makes us beautiful, that we have different thinking caps on our head, and we are dreaming very differently than others are. So I truly love, Amir, what you said about the imagination. And again, especially in the current technology stage, I say let's allow our kids to dream more and be more, and teach them arts, allow them to be creative and create a world in their brains that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Absolutely. Very important. Absolutely.
And I think how many times, like when we really think about how many times do we say something that doesn't exist and then it exists. So that shows the power of the mind and thoughts. And people say, oh, I would have been a millionaire or a multi-millionaire if I would have done that, but that person did. And I always laugh about this, but I heard this story of Michael Jackson saying he used to wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning with lyrics in his head, and he would ring his assistant and he would say, no, we need to write this now and get in the recording studio, because otherwise Prince is going to have this song. And people can laugh about this stuff, but there's something to it, you know? So, you know, are you going to allow that thought, that vision, that idea to become a reality of someone else's, or are you going to implement it? So just really use that fuel and that passion and that imagination, because it came to you for a reason. I could speak to you both for hours and hours and hours, and I still even feel like, we've not even covered much, but I want to be really conscious and precious of your time, and I just have this feeling, like, obviously time permitting and being respectful of both your schedules and your time, but I feel like this is going to turn into like a monthly like get together or something.
Absolutely.
I just love it. It's so powerful. So thank you so much. Happy New Year, because this will be released on New Year. And for all those listening, I said this at the start, but please share some love, because we are in a time where this is how we share love and expansion and growth. And the more you subscribe, the more that these incredible, powerful voices can be heard by many more, because that is how our algorithms work. Even though we can use our mind to say that it could be a different way, this is the reality right now. So please share some love. Thank you. You are all amazing. And I really, really appreciate this really powerful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for your time, for listening, and just believe in yourself, believe in your goals, and you will, I'm very sure, we all here very sure, you're 100% going to achieve it. What we believe and conceive will be achieved. So just believe on that. and Happy New Year. Thank you for listening again.
Yes. Thank you.